Thank everyone for coming tonight. I want to start off with this question right here. Some of you might have been looking at that question on the board. Some of you might have thought about this before. But weight loss or fat loss? Let's talk about that for just a second. What's the problem with having a weight loss goal? Let's say you got some kind of event coming up. You've got a wedding. You've got a cruise you got to go on. You guys know the reasons. What are the reasons? You've got some pictures you're going to be in, some high school reunion. What's the problem with just focusing on the weight on the scale? When the average dieter says, I want to lose weight, what do they mean? I want to lose what? I want to lose fat. You've got the weight of muscle, you've got the weight of fat. Let's say I put you on the scale right now. How many different things am I measuring? Clothes. How many of you have ever weighed yourself first thing in the morning? That's the best time to weigh yourself. Why is that? You haven't eaten anything yet. You've been sweating all night. You haven't drank any water yet. Your water weight's down. So that's why we need to redefine our goals from just weight loss to just fat loss. If I told everyone in here I knew the secret to weight loss and I pull you all in here, and then one by one I go around and I take off your shoes and I put you back on the scale and say, hey, look, you lost weight. What would you want to do to me? Smack me, right? Hit me, punch me, be pretty mad, because when you told me you wanted to lose weight, you weren't talking about the weight of your shoes, you were talking about the weight of fat. Well, I made that point for a reason, because just as it would be ridiculous for me to do something like try to get you excited about weighing less because your shoes are off, I need you to remember that some of the supplements that are being sold on the market are just as ridiculous. Now, the supplement industry is a multi-billion-dollar industry. I don't know if you knew that, but it's a multi-billion-dollar industry where it's been estimated that 80% of the supplements that are on the market are garbage. 80%. Now, you guys know it's true because you've seen the ads, right? Lose 10 pounds in one night. Lose 10 pounds in 24 hours. Let me ask you something. If you really lost 10 pounds that fast, do you really think you lost 10 pounds of fat? No. What did you lose 10 pounds of? Water. And what's the problem with dropping water weight? You gain it right back, right? Okay, so let's say you do take one of these pills and you do successfully dehydrate yourself. Can you burn fat efficiently in that dehydrated state if your energy levels aren't even efficient? Absolutely not. So you're going to gain the weight back plus usually what? A little bit more, right?
One of the funnest things that I remember about being on the program was I was through about 16 weeks of my 18-week program, and we had a family reunion, and there was people there that I hadn't seen in a couple years, and when I saw them, I was almost 300 pounds, and when they saw me, they just couldn't believe it. They said, what are you doing? And I told them about Total Health Fitness and talked to them a lot about nutrition, and one of my cousins was just, he was speechless. He just said, wow. And he just looked at me again and said, wow, I can't believe it. And it was just so cool. And with that, the guys at work, every week I'd go back into work and they say, man, you better stop. You're going to blow away. And I just love it. It's great.
Okay, I want to step away from supplementation for just a second. I want to talk about the weight loss industry as a whole. There is a research study that was done in the Journal of American Medicine that showed that 95% of anyone who goes to lose weight right now gains it back plus more inside of 1 year. 95%. Now, you guys know it's true because if you haven't lost weight and gained it back yourself, you probably know someone, right, that's lost weight and gained it back. Okay, so they did this research study to find out why so many Americans are losing weight and then just gaining it back right away. And they did this study on all the most common dieting and exercise techniques that are on the market. And this is what they found. They took the average dieter, who we'll call Mr. Jones. Okay, and let's say that Mr. Jones weighs 200 pounds, 30% body fat. What that means, 200 pounds, 30% body fat, means he is, if I broke down his weight, he has about 60 pounds of fat, and if I stripped all the fat off his body, about 140 pounds of lean body mass. Does that make sense to everybody so far? That's just how his weight breaks down. You got the weight of fat and lean body mass, that's muscle, bone, everything that's left. Okay? So they took the average American crash diet, what we'll call the crash diet, we'll say 8 weeks, and found that sure enough, this guy does lose 30 pounds. He gets down to 170 pounds. The problem is that they're finding is, on average, he's still about 30% body fat, which means if I were to break down his weight now, he has about 51 pounds of fat and about 119 pounds of lean body mass. So do the math on this. This guy lost 21 pounds of lean tissue and only 9 pounds of fat. The problem with this is, does fat burn fat? What burns fat? Muscle burns fat. So he used to have 140 pounds of fat burning machinery. Now he only has 119. This means he used to have a metabolism that could support 3,000 calories a day. Now he's only got a metabolism that could support 2,000. And the poor guy's actually getting fatter from eating 2,000. So let me ask you this. Is this particular dieter going to be able to keep the weight off under these conditions? Absolutely not. So in 1 year time or less, they found he gains the weight back. But does he just go back up to 200 pounds? What is he now? Now he's 220 pounds. That's right. Now he's 220 pounds. Now he's 40% body fat. Okay? This is called the yo-yo effect of dieting. And this is what's happening 95% of the time. Okay? Now I haven't talked to you a lot yet about why this happens so frequently. But just to touch on it real fast, this is from improper dieting techniques and improper exercise techniques. Okay? Now let me show you what we want to see happen. I'm going to take the same dieter, Mr. Jones, who's 200 pounds, 30% body fat. Remember, that means if I broke down his weight, he has about 60 pounds of fat and 140 pounds of lean body mass. And this time I'm not going to try to rush and do it in 8 weeks. This time I'm going to take 12 weeks. I'm still going to get him down to 170 pounds. But this time, because I did it right, he's 170 pounds at 10% body fat, which means if I broke down his weight now, he has about 17 pounds of fat and 153 pounds of lean body mass. Okay, so let's do the math on this. This means he gained 13 pounds of lean tissue and lost about 43 pounds of fat. This means he started with a metabolism that could only support 3,000 calories a day. Now he's got a metabolism that can support 4,000, and he's actually getting thinner from eating 4,000. So, is this particular dieter going to have any trouble keeping the weight off under these conditions? Absolutely not. He's going to have, in fact, believe it or not, he'd actually have a hard time getting fat again with a faster metabolism. Now, this is the potential. This is what we want to see happen, but this is what's almost never happening. Okay?
About a year ago, I lost my wife and went to the gym to deal with the stress that came from that, and started losing weight on my own and decided that at 36 years old I wanted to get to single-digit body fat. I worked really hard for probably 7-8 months and dropped from 33% down to about 20%, but then I'd sort of plateaued out and been there for a couple of months, and that's when I decided I needed to have more information, or something I was doing wasn't working because it had stopped working. At that point, my girlfriend told me about Total Health and Fitness and convinced me to come down and talk to Rick, and I started the program, and I was able to drop from almost 21% body fat down to 8% body fat. And I wouldn't have been able to do it without the knowledge, because I was doing things almost backwards. It was a good experience. It was a lot of hard work. I won't say it was easy, but it was easy to follow. I just had to do what I was told and actually follow instructions, and it turned out really well. I haven't seen my abs for at least 12 years before that, and really hadn't seen abs like that since high school 20 years earlier. It was great to be able to look in the mirror and actually be excited to have your shirt off and not have to hide it. What probably would surprise people is 3,000 calories of healthy food is a lot of food. I never felt hungry and was craving food. There was plenty of food. You know, 3,000 calories of fast food isn't enough to keep you going. It's not that much, but when you get 3,000 calories of the healthy foods, it's plenty of food to keep you full all day. The things I learned about during the program as far as working out were just little changes made a huge difference. Changing my grip every week or changing the pace of the exercise was a huge difference maker for me. Just slowing things down, I was shocked at how much harder that made a workout. And just making those little changes every week, I would have never known to make those little changes and the difference it could make in keeping my body guessing and progressing.